This podcast episode is perfect for small business owners looking to grow their social media presence without spending countless hours on content creation. Today, we're met with Nicholas Dircz, the owner and operator of GenerationNOW Entertainment since 2010. He has been the official DJ for the Timberwolves and Lynx since 2008, and has DJed events such as the Super Bowl, Ryder Cup, and multiple NBA All-Star games. While GenNOW has done over 1,000 events in 2024 alone. Let's see how he's rethinking small businesses.
The algorithms love consistent posting, and that can be hard if you're a business owner. And this is something I would say with any business owner, any team leaders, like delegating is life-saving. When I'm consuming content, it's like I have a laugh or learn kind of policy. Someone created essentially a fake rapper. Our digital footprint, our social media is now matching like what we say, and how we communicate. Last year was the first year we hit over 1,000, so 1,053 events last year. So I have not gotten this many new followers in this short of amount of time, I don't think ever.
Hi Nick, good to have you here today, bro.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Good seeing you, man.
Oh, yeah.
So trying to jumping right into it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how have you seen social media change throughout your experience with GenNOW and owning GenNOW?
Oh man, social media. I mean, starting it out in 2010, Facebook was kind of the main platform back then, and it has changed so much. Like I guess the biggest thing is, consistency and just how the algorithms have changed over time. Like the algorithms love consistent posting, and that can be hard if you're a business owner, and you're a small business owner. And for a while, I was doing all the social media. We didn't have a team. We didn't have you guys. So like you're gigging, you're DJing, you're running the company, you're, all the things that go into like business ownership. And then you're also trying to make time to make posts can be very, very hard. And so having, and this is something I would say with any business owner, any team leaders, like delegating is life-saving. Like understanding you can't do it all, and finding those right people that are just as passionate about you with your business, what you're doing, and delegating tasks that maybe you keep pushing to the side, that you just like know that you're not good at. That's something where it does take some humility of like recognizing what your strengths and weaknesses are. Yeah. But then having a team to delegate those tasks to is huge. Yep. And so that's really helped us, these last few years with, the algorithms loving the consistent posting. Having you guys making the content, and then having DJ Cav, Ben Cavalier, posting, tagging everyone, on our main 4 platforms, which are YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's the ones we're focused on. Yeah. And the other thing that's been cool about like DJ content is like mashups have been huge. Like back in 2010 when we first started GenNOW, mashups were kind of like almost like a bad word in the DJ community. Like DJs weren't playing as many mashups. You did not see the content of mashups on social media back then. No, you didn't. And now it's all over the place, right? TikTok, especially Instagram Reels, like where it's literally just a guy behind a controller, and a lot of times he's just pressing play. Yep. Yeah. But it's like, here's this crazy song mashed up with this other crazy song, and then they're kind of dancing to it, so there's like a visual element to it all. And so, obviously with GenNOW, we've tried to tap into that and like, recording our team members, making mixes, making mashups, and performing them, because stage presence is huge with DJ content, because you don't want to look at some dude who's just kind of sitting there with his headphones on, staring at the camera. Like you got to be animated, moving to the music. And so, I'd say those are the big takeaways that I've found since starting GenerationNOW in 2010 to today. It's changed a lot.
Wow. Yeah. 2010. So it's been 15 years?
Yeah,
dude.
This is year 15.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
Yeah, dude, thinking about like back when you were talking about delegating, like was there a time when you were first starting out where you were just trying to do everything yourself? Oh yeah. And I'm sure that was very tiring.
Oh, it was terrible, because a lot of stuff just didn't get done. Yep. Because there's only so many hours in a day. Plus I have 3 kids. I mean, back then I just had 1 kid who's now 14 years old. Yeah. His mom and me, we weren't rich. So it's like I was at home, we couldn't afford daycare even the first year. So like I just remember like starting the company I had a Bluetooth earpiece, and I had the Baby Bjorn, which is like a thing that just kept my kid right here, so I could just like be holding him while being hands-free, doing the dishes, hands-free talking, and just like starting the company. I mean, there's just endless tasks when you start a company, and then,
right.
So yeah, delegating. I didn't realize the power of that until a few years in, I would say, because at first I did try to tackle everything, and like I said, a lot of stuff just didn't get done.
Yep.
You know, because you just didn't have enough time. I didn't have the passion to do X, Y, and Z. You know, I mean, we didn't hire a legit accountant until, man, I mean, I think we've had Andrea now. I think we're going on like 5-6 years with her. So, you know, like for many years, it was like me. And then it was Anthony Casper, our admin director, was kind of taking care of it. Robert, my business partner, took care of some of that stuff. But to have like an accountant when you have a company, I mean, we have 50 team members on our team.
Yeah.
You know, 30 DJs. So it's like you need to have someone who this is what they do for a living, handling you know, the payroll and everything like that. So yeah, it was also fun though. Like, you know, like I love design and I love branding and I love like just strategy.
Yep.
You know, like I loved like designing our website.
Yeah.
I love designing our business cards and our logo and our, you know, our first flyers and how's our Facebook page going to look and like that kind of stuff. That's like very like forward facing. That's where, you know, my passions lie. And so with that, you get good work output because you're passionate about it. And then the stuff that I wasn't so passionate about, you know, those tasks kind of got slipped away. Yeah. So it's like, you know, like I said in the beginning, it is humbling to like, as a business owner, like realizing I can't do it all. I'm not good at all this stuff. I need to find someone who's good at this and this and this. And, you know, slowly, if you're really looking and you've built a network around you already, you know, you already have people maybe to tap into, then do it. Because, you know, I think a lot of businesses fail because the owners try to do everything. And a lot of times it's control too. You know, it's like they just want to control every part about it.
But one thing I notice about you is that you're open to others' opinions. Like you're very hands-on about like the way you like things, which is easy for us too, because when we're making content, you're very like directional and it makes it easy. But then you're also able to listen to other people's opinions and kind of bring that into and building your own company too.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Do you find it hard to like give, like when you talked about branding, do you find it hard to like give that task off to certain people? Like, is it hard for you to, you know, because you said you like to be hands-on with it?
That is a little bit harder for me. Yeah, for sure. I'm very visual, so it's like I love like, I mean, I guess I'm kind of like our social media director, where it's like, I want this piece of content and I want this, and, you know, and that's fun for me because like a lot of our team members that are doing more of the sales side of things or more of the admin stuff, they're like, cool, Nick, you handle that, right? You know, so I think we have a really good flow right now after being in business, you know, for 14, 15 years. We've got a solid leadership crew. You guys know the crew, right? Anthony Casper, Tim Miller,
great people,
Dustin Meyer, Sean, and Ben. And yeah, everyone's got kind of their roles and their pockets, and we've all kind of figured out like what we're really good at. And
it's fun.
It takes a while to get that all figured out, but once you do, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges do you think maybe you faced, maybe with social media or not social media, but like maybe just considering social media? Like what kind of challenges did you see in the early days, maybe before bringing us on, and maybe talk more about that?
Challenges before you guys? I mean, so many, like just what are we going to post about? What are we going to do? One thing that's kind of hard is, and I know this as a DJ too, when I'm at an event, my priority is the event. My priority is killing it. And, you know, being very personable with everyone that I meet and, you know, obviously DJing and keeping the dance floor packed. And it's like, when your mind is so focused on that, it's hard to be like, oh, maybe I should take my phone out and get some clips.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, we really try to get our DJs to just like, hey, you don't need 20 clips. Just get us like a couple, right?
Yeah.
Get like two, get us like 2 bomb clips. The big thing I always tell our DJs is like, at some point when you got the dance floor packed, get the microphone out, get your phone out, and make sure you're playing a track that like they're all gonna go crazy to, like something that has like a build and a drop, like, I don't know, Rihanna, We Found Love, or, you know, like Turn Down for What, or something like that. And it's like right before it drops, get on the microphone, everybody put your hands up. And then you just got your phone like this. And, you know, that's what we need. But yeah, the challenges were just like, what are we gonna post? What are we gonna do? We didn't have our headquarters back then. Wow. We were operating, well, at first we were operating on my garage for the first 3 years.
Really?
Wow.
One car garage, by the way. And then we finally got a like a storage locker. Or I always call it a storage locker. It's a storage unit. No climate control, no bathroom, you know, and no place to really shoot content.
Right. Just stuff to put your gear in.
So it was really, our content was like event recaps, and that was it, if we did. Now we did hire videographers. You know, we've had videographers throughout our 15 years here, and you know, a lot of them have put really dope stuff together. And so, but you know, that was an extra expense because a lot of times the client didn't pay for that. We just knew we wanted a dope recap for the Timberwolves game or this really huge wedding we were going to do. So like we would pay for it. The company would pay for that videographer.
Yeah.
You know, we'd get permission from the client, like, hey, can we bring our videographer out here? And so those would be great. But just like staying on top of like what the algorithm likes has been a real challenge, you know, like to take it back to those years, those recaps, they're all shot horizontally.
Yeah.
And, you know, to me, and I'm old school, it's like, that's how I see, like right now I'm looking at you guys and it's horizontal, you know, but at some point it switched and I was like old man Mars, who was just like, no, horizontal. And like those videos didn't do as well, you know? You put them on YouTube and you just hope for the best. I mean, it was great to share the link with the client, stuff like, hey, here's the video we put together. But yeah, it's staying on top of like what the algorithm likes is, and that's where, again, where you guys are great, because it's like you guys are in that world. Yeah. And I can just kind of like have confidence in knowing that you guys know, hey, this is how this should be done. This is how that should be done. So
I'm curious your opinion on short form content, like as an older person. Like seeing like vertical reels on like scrolling and doom scrolling. Have you heard that term?
Yep.
Like, what is your opinion on short form content, and maybe do you see it switching back to long form content?
I think there's always going to be a place for both. I mean, it depends on the platform, because then it kind of depends on what their algorithms are like. I mean, obviously like TikTok, you can't post a horizontal video on TikTok, right? I mean, you can. But it's like, what are you doing, geezer?
Geezer.
And trust me, my first 2 TikToks, they're horizontal, dude.
Wow. Yeah.
I just use the extra space to put like text, like January 18th Timberwolves game, and like a huge font. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. But like as a like content consumer, I do like both. Like I'm on YouTube a lot. I love long form content on YouTube, whether it's travel vlogs or it's DJ, you know, or it's behind the scenes breakdown of a music video, you know, like I like long form. Like I'm doing the dishes, I can have it on right there. You can have just the audio going in the car or whatever, or maybe it's a podcast, but then you have the visual element because it's, you know, and you have the video. That, you know, Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay, he's got some great long form interviews. I've
seen some of those.
Yeah, he just interviewed Lil Yachty, which was a great interview. So I just think there's room for both, short and long, and it just depends on the platform and what that platform is like rewarding in terms of like their algorithm. You know, I feel like, you know, when Reels came out, you could remember that when Reels first came out, like if you just made a post on Instagram that was a video, they would just they wouldn't show it to people. Like, no, we're rolling these Reels out. Needs to be vertical. And you need to click the reel part, not the post part. Like, so, and again, that's where having a content team that knows this stuff is really important, you know, because otherwise we just keep doing the things that we were doing, and hopefully it works. Hopefully hopefully people see it, but I think you're just asking about long form, short form. I think there'll always be space for both. It just kind of is just changing depending on what these platforms are, you know, rewarding.
And it's like, kind of like you were saying, like, it's about what headspace you're in when you go in to watch this content. Like, Are you going in, like long form is like you said, it's like I'm gonna sit down, watch this or listen to this, and it's like, or are you going on shorts, like he said, kind of doom scroll, like you just want to pass time. Like
and personally, I don't do as much of that.
You
know, but I like the short form stuff that we create for sure. You know,
I think I like stuff that's more like informational, like you can actually learn something sitting down watching it, not just something stupid like some kid going out there searching for a clip just to post on social. Something that's actually gonna like bring benefit to the audience. I feel like that's something that Will and I strive to do as in Rethink Media.
Especially even with Gen Now, it's like we make content that's like educational, right? And like people want to watch it, they're learning something, value versus like, you know. But we also have the entertainment piece.
Definitely.
These mashups and
for me, like when I'm consuming content, it's like I have a laugh or learn kind of policy. Like if it's not making me laugh and I'm not learning something, it's like I start to get anxiety of like, what am I doing with my time right now? I could be doing
something. I get that same feeling. I got that feeling last night, dude.
Did you?
Yep. And then I ended up working till 1:30 in the morning. Because I was like, I need to work harder. David Goggins mindset.
Laugh or learn. I don't know. It's addicting. I mean, like people are on these
Short
things
form.
and I just try to like, whatever I'm like watching, again, like I want to be getting something from that's going to like better the company, better me personally. You know, and that's where like laughing or learning is kind of become my motto with like, if I'm just like consuming content.
Yeah. That's good. And like kind of talking more on content and the future of it, how have you seen AI work in content creation or like, and also just the DJ industry? Like, how are you guys implementing AI and how so?
We're not really implementing much. It's obviously it's getting harder to tell if it is AI or not. Which is kind of creepy. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, it's like I think at the end of the day, humans want to see other humans like entertaining them, and you know what I mean. Like it's kind of like even just like live entertainment. Like I feel like humans are always gonna prefer a live human being like entertaining them as opposed to maybe an AI generated playlist.
Yep, I agree.
That's just playing, just to take like a restaurant for an example. I think, you know, and there's a time and place for that, for just a playlist. Like, you know, it's just some lunch crowd, some business lunch crowd. You don't need a DJ back there like banging out, you know, house beats. But like, if they are going to have live entertainment, I feel like humans I just feel like humans are always going to want that human to human connection when it comes to entertainment. And, you know, but like with like, just like YouTube and, you know, you have all these YouTube creators that are, I'm, you know, seeing they are getting a little bit freaked by, you know, that's their whole business model is like they're in front of the camera, they're making this content, but then someone could just have an AI make a video that does just as well, maybe even better, because the AI understands the algorithm and understands maybe what face is gonna get more, you know, like the AI generated face, it's a fake person, but like that AI understands what viewers want at that moment. And then, you know, if you're a content creator and you're a human being, you only have this one face. But if, you know, if you're using an AI video generation, you could have any face, and you could ask it, you could, you know, have it just come up with, and the voice. You only have one voice.
Right. I think that was something that I saw recently is I thought The Rock was like, I was watching a TikTok and it was like The Rock was giving some motivational message, but it was actually just AI. It wasn't actually him talking.
Damn,
but
crazy.
it can just be, you can just clone somebody's voice so easily. So
I just hope there's regulation, you know, so that maybe the algorithm doesn't reward, because it must know if it's AI generated, right?
I don't know.
I'd say no.
It's
Really?
it's
I'd bet
cloning
no.
people's faces now. Like there's apps where you can clone your own face, and like it's AI creators now, and it's like, how are you even gonna know? Like, there's this one creator I have in mind, but you can't even tell. Like it's just like,
I mean, it's changed so fast. Remember
It's
when
insane.
AI and everything first came? Like the person would have like 6 fingers and have like an eye coming out of his forehead. It's like, oh, this isn't gonna go in. And then like 2 months later, it's like, okay, that looks pretty freaking real.
True, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, soon enough, you're going to be DJing at the Super Bowl, and you're going to be like, wait, I'm at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know. See,
It's weird.
maybe it's the old school mentality I have or something, but I do feel like human beings want that real human to human. Like, do you guys remember, God, I want to say it was like 2018 or something. I don't know if it was a record company or someone created essentially a fake rapper, and it was all, I don't know if it was even called AI back then, but God, I wish I could remember the name of this rapper, but like it churned out some hits that actually did well on streaming platforms. And the music industry was like, oh my God, you know, but it didn't go any, it was a gimmick. It was, you know, so at what point does the gimmick overtake reality?
Yeah.
You know, is the average human being, you know, content consumer gonna care if it is real or fake or not? And I think once it's all said and done, I think they will care.
Yep.
I think they'll be like, I think they will search out content that isn't AI generated. I think, I don't know.
Something will have to be labeled as AI generated. For
I would
people to
hope.
know.
That's why I go back to regulation. I hope that there's something like that so we can know the difference. But yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think like let's just take the average American content consumer.
Yeah.
Like, do they, you know, what do you think their preference is at the end of the day?
I think they want a real person.
I think so too.
I immediately think of my mom, and she's scrolling, and she's always bringing up her influencers, you know, and she loves like the personalities.
Yeah.
So once you take the personality out of it, then it's just like, okay, what's the point? It's just an AI bot. So.
And there's just something fake about it.
Yes.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, those jewelry, the jewelry channels and stuff, they all have like the diamond tester.
Yeah.
I think people really want to know that your diamonds are real.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's fake. It's like, oh, well, forget that guy. I'm not going to follow him anymore. He's wearing fake diamonds.
I think what could get scary is the controversy it could cause in like politics and things like that. Like faked, or like all like different things that it could cause around.
Who knows?
that.
It could start a war or something.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
Like, you don't
how
even
has that
know.
not happened yet?
I know. Like,
Because the technology's here. You could have a video of, you
Someone
know,
saying
the president
something.
of whatever country saying we're going to war against this country. And yeah, I mean, you got to hope that our government is on top of this stuff.
Yes.
And there's like, you know how they have like anti-missile programs? Like they have like anti-deep fake stuff where it's like they can immediately contact that other government. Like, we're not going to war with you guys. That video is fake. We can confirm it. This is straight from the office of the presidency. You know, we got to hope our leaders around the world are on top of that stuff.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Could you go into a little bit about Gen Now and just like in the old days of like, how did you even come up with a name, or what was like the start of that, and what did that look like?
So the name kind of came. The name came first with the. I think that light just went out. We'll just cut for a second.
Cut it.
I just realized my bracelet matches my socks. Look at that shit.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's fire.
Okay, I think it's just gonna turn off. Unless I can find an outlet.
Do you need an extension cord?
Yeah, do you have one?
Oh, I don't have mine with me. Hopefully that reaches.
Here we go. There's one in here.
Oh, sweet. Good. All right, we'll just clap. Reset.
Okay. So yeah, the name Generation Now and just the whole concept behind it kind of came at the same time. It was probably like 2006, 2007. I was living at Calhoun Towers, kind of by Lake Calhoun, with my one of my best friends, Devin, from college, and we just, we were at the age where we started going to, like, our friends were getting married and our cousins were getting married, and we were seeing your, I guess, typical wedding DJ. And I was just blown away as to how terrible it was. You know, because you heard about this before, or whatever, like, oh, wedding DJs, they suck, they're cringy or whatever.
Was that the stereotype behind them?
Yeah, and it still kind of is. I mean,
Wow.
I feel like Generation Now has been at the forefront of revolutionizing what a wedding DJ should be. And now and I'm not saying we're the only ones, but I was like, as far as we know, we are the first in this market to have the business model of, no, we're going to have real DJs that DJ nightclubs and DJ sporting events and DJ, you know, that can mix, that can scratch, that can get on the microphone, that can keep a dance floor packed.
Yeah.
That was the vision, was like, I wanted to give specifically weddings in this market an option to have a real, as we call them, a real DJ.
Yeah.
That didn't really exist before. Because at the time, you had a very distinct difference between nightclub DJs. Like, you were either a nightclub DJ, or you were a wedding DJ, or you were a radio DJ, and you kind of did some of those things, but like there was kind of a difference. And sports are in there too, but like now you have DJs at all types of events, which is amazing for our industry, that, you know, you can just add a DJ. We could have a DJ in here right now, DJing for this podcast, which is great, you know, so it just leads to way more opportunities. But at the time, there was this like kind of line of like, oh, that's a wedding DJ. Oh, that's a nightclub DJ, a real DJ, you know? And we wanted to take nightclub DJs and put them into weddings where you wouldn't typically see that, and other events where you wouldn't normally see like DJs that are that caliber. And then the name it kind of just came like it. I remember the name has been around so long. We came up with the name so long ago. We had a MySpace page.
Wow.
And I think it might still be up. I don't even know. But like we had a MySpace page. So it was before Facebook.
Wow.
That we like named the company. And I really liked the name because it's always right now.
Yeah.
You know, now is just now. Like there's just something so cool about that it's like, it's never dated. Because like now is always now, you know? And we always joke like, if we're going to play like a 80-year-old's like birthday party, we could be called Generation Then or something. But I just love the currentness, that's not even a word, but of our name.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's always right now. And right now it's like, the name itself lends itself to being like, oh, these guys are on top of it. Oh, these guys, they're not going to be your average wedding company that's been doing it the same way for so many years. They're playing the same songs. They're letting the songs play out.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're not mixing the track into the next track. So there's a little gap between, you know, like, to me, that doesn't sound like a company called Generation Now would do it that way. So like, I love that our name matches our brand and like what we're all about, you know, and just trying to just stay current, stay on top of things. And because the wedding clients are younger and younger and younger. I mean, compared to my age, right? They're still kind of the similar age of when people typically get married, but like your average wedding client today, I feel like they're much more on top of like current trends than, you know, in previous years. And like, they've gone out to festivals. They know who Diplo is. Like they know, you know, like they understand. What I love about Generation Now's wedding clients, especially, is they not only know what the term continuously mixing means, where you're mixing a song into the next song, into the next song, into the next song, so that the dance floor has like no chance to leave and you just rage all night. Not only do they know what that term means, they want that at their wedding. You know what I mean? They want a DJ that's mixing and not playing the same old wedding playlist and not cringy on the microphone and not doing games and, you know, I don't know, the shoe game. And like, it's like, we
gotta be now.
Yeah.
Gotta,
you know, no chicken dance, you know, a lot of our clients, they don't even want like your average line dances, your cha-cha slides, your Cupid shuffles, your, you know, I thought it would always be funny to make a t-shirt that had, it's like a fire extinguisher, you know, where it's like, in emergency, break the glass. Yeah. And inside the glass is like cha-cha slide, wobble, Cupid shuffle. Because it's really like, if we really need to play these songs, we can break the glass and play them. But a good DJ doesn't really need to play those songs to keep the dance floor packed. There's so much music. that you can play and mix properly and keep the dance floor going. So it's like in emergency, play line dances, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude. Now that you mention it, I filmed a few weddings, and I can like picture in my head like just the ones that just sit there, press play, and then let it ride.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of boring, you know. It's almost like somebody that is there to work almost versus like somebody who has a passion for it, which is very clearly. I can tell that you and everybody at Generation Now just has a huge passion for what they do, and yeah, it's awesome.
I think it starts from there, honestly. Like with anything.
Yeah.
I think it starts with that word, passion. If you don't have the passion in what you're doing, you're not going to excel at it because you're not going to like put in those extra hours. You're not going to put in extra time in something that you're not passionate with.
No.
You're just going to coast. And if you're just coasting, you're not going to improve.
Right.
You know, that's the other thing I love about our team is like, because they have such passion, they all want to get better. I want to get better. I don't think I'm the dopest DJ in Minnesota, but I want to keep getting better to maybe someday I am or whatever. But it's like the attitude of like never stop improving is something that I find a ton of value in. And if you don't have the passion for whatever you're doing, you're not going to want to improve, you know, and get better and evolve with the times and stuff like that.
You're kind of talking about that. Like, what are your goals for 2025 and beyond?
Like with the company?
Yeah, the company, yourself.
Goals for 2025. We want to add on our team. We just hired 2 new DJs and another tech assistant, which is great.
Cool.
We like encouraging improvement, like I just talked about. So it's like we have 3 levels of DJs: openers, headliners, and elite. And you know, openers, if they have that passion, they keep improving and they get great client reviews and they kill it. We're going to want to bump them up. We want to reward them. Now they're headliner level DJs. Well, now we have openings for opener level DJs. So building the team is huge, and that's a big part of like my behind the scenes job is. Adding more partnerships is huge for us. We love partnerships. We love organizations, schools, sports teams, companies. You know, we don't want to just do the one event. Hey, we got a gala coming up in February. We'd love for you guys to be the DJ. Yeah, that's great. But what else you got? You got a summertime picnic. You got a 10-year anniversary. You got an awards show.
Yeah.
You know, you got like, we like to go into those meetings with like showing them that like you could add a DJ, an MC, a dancer, like a whole gambit of entertainers to tons of different events, not just the one event that they kind of hit us up about.
Because then it becomes personalized to that event. You're not just doing the one-off show. It's like you actually learn what this event is and who they are, and you can personalize it more towards, you know, that event. So,
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and that's what's great about like corporations and organizations and stuff is they do kind of the same events year after year. You know, so you get in with them. They could be your partners for decades. You know, you could, and then it's all about us educating them on like other events. Like, hey, have you guys thought about doing this? Hey, have you thought about doing a summertime, you know, team building barbecue where it's just like this, you know, families are invited and everything. You got a DJ, you know, and you know that's just one example. But like definitely adding more partnerships, building onto our partners. On our website, we have a partners link where it's like event planners, venues, you know, sports teams, organizations, golf courses, country clubs. We want to keep building onto those because that's kind of the lifeblood of like our referrals. You know, certainly word of mouth, past clients is number one, but then like we get tons of referrals from these partnerships where it's like, hey, I got this client that just came in to do a venue tour. They're getting married, you know, in a year from now, and they're looking for a DJ. We told them, you know, we're on their preferred vendor list. So boom, now now it's up to our salespeople to hit that client up and, you know, sell them on why hiring Generation Now is the route. So yeah, just building onto our team and building onto our partnerships is huge. And then also just like our content, you know, and just like coming up with new fun ideas of how we can express ourselves online. Like I just love working with you guys, Rethink, because not for once, I won't say that. We've had some pretty good content before, but I feel like the consistency is there. But it's like, you know, us talking to clients and like talking about our brand and talking about who we are our digital footprint, our social media is now matching like what we say, and you know, and how we communicate why we're dope to partners and clients. Like now we have our social media matches kind of that, what we've been saying for all these years, which is awesome. So it's like, it's so cool that we can, you know, have all those social media platforms that we have be just steady, consistent, dope, you know, whether it's a highlight where we're talking about what to tip your DJ, or, you know, the top 5 things to make your wedding dance party pop off, or mixes and mashups, you know, and just like, here's some cool music, or it's a team member, get to know a team member type of thing, or it's an event recap. Like, I think we got a really solid like sphere of like dope content ideas and stuff in the pipeline too. And so just like keeping that consistent through this year is going to be huge.
Yeah. And kind of going on that, like, what results have you guys seen from the content we're making and just social media in general?
You know, the biggest thing is like just talking to a client. I just had a client meeting last week with February. It's at the end of the month, a wedding that I'm doing. And, you know, she brought up the, I forget, it was 4 or 5 things that make your wedding dance party pop up. But that video, she brought that up. She's like, oh my God, I sent it to all my friends. And I'm like, this is perfect.
That's
you know, like, did it get 10,000 views and like a bunch of, no. You know, but that wasn't really the goal. The goal is to educate, and, you know, and I think your average client finds a ton of value in that. It's like, we're not just saying we're the dopest DJ company. Hey, look at us. We're the dopest. We're the dopest. It's like, we're trying to help you out. Like, here's some educational tidbits, you know, for your wedding. And she watched it and she sent it to other friends that are getting married. And those friends are going to probably hit us up. Because they're going to be at the wedding I'm going to DJ, and you know I'm going to kill it. So it's like, oh, that's the guy. Those are the guys from the link you sent us. And it's just like, you know, it's all like working together.
Yes.
To just keep building our business, and, you know, hopefully we break more records. Every year we have, in terms of gross sales, we beat the year before. We've done that year after year, and number of events. Those are kind of 2 metrics that we have. It's like gross sales, and then number of events. And last year was the first year we hit over 1,000. So 1,053 events last year.
Awesome.
So
Congrats.
You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It takes that one person. It doesn't need 10 million views or anything. It just takes that one person to, and then that gets you the referral.
And that's really why we're posting.
Right.
We're posting to build the business.
Right.
And get more gigs.
Right.
Get more clients.
You're not posting to go viral. I mean, I guess it would be cool to go viral, but
it
doesn't mean, like, I think that's a big misconception. Maybe you can talk on it too. But like, I mean, you've got millions of views, but how many, like, what has been more valuable, the views or like the actual content?
And that's the thing. It's like, we work with a lot of direct-to-consumer product companies, and that's where you want to go viral. Like, that's like, because you're going to the masses, you can sell to everyone. When it's a local company, you're just focused on like your sphere, who's in Minnesota. Like, you don't need to go viral and reach people in, you know, California. Obviously, it'd be nice because maybe you'll get a travel wedding or, you know, something like that you could do. But
so give me an example of someone that you guys are working with right now that matches that, of like, it's important to go viral for them. Yeah.
So for that kind of client, it would be, just for example, the first one that comes to mind is like Seat Cover Solutions. They sell car seat covers. So that's, you know, they'll post videos, and they've gotten videos have hit over 1 million. They've gotten, I think, over 10 million. But and those videos, because it causes this big uproar of like visits to the website, which then results in,
they're able to just buy the products right there.
So that's definitely different from us. I mean, I think if we do go viral on a video, it'll be one of the mashups.
Exactly.
You know, it'll be something. And we're working on something next week.
The
LED cube.
That's gonna be
awesome. That's the goal with that, is it's going to look so insane. And I really got to get my set figured out for that. But hoping that can lead to some virality.
For sure. That and the Timberwolves that I've mentioned before is like, you get good views on, you know, Timberwolves content. So I actually
I just posted that ant video.
One,
but I boosted that. It's the first time I've ever paid for a boosted ad in Instagram. We used to boost all the time on Facebook because no one saw our stuff
Yeah.
unless we did put some money behind it, which is so frustrating.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I was like, I don't know. It was like later
How
that
much?
night.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I think I put like $30-$40 across 5 days. I mean, my followers, I have not gotten this many new followers in this short of amount of time.
Wow.
I
Really?
don't think ever.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
So, yeah.
Every day, because I boosted for 5 days.
Yeah.
Every day, 20, 30 new followers. And obviously likes on the video and stuff like that. And then I'll go into those new followers and I'll just be like, all right, who are you? You know, I want to know. Like,
Yeah.
they're from Minnesota, they're from Wisconsin, they're a Timberwolves fan, they got a Nas Reed jersey in their profile pic. I'm like, okay, this is good. You know, because I could retain those people as followers on and that's my personal brand, you know,
Yeah.
DJ Matt Mardigan brand. But yeah, we're definitely need to start boosting
Yeah.
some Gen Now stuff because it clearly works. And the algorithm, I mean, that's why they're in business, right?
Yeah.
They're in business to make billions of dollars. So why not give them a couple $100 to boost? You know, it's just got to be the right video to boost. And I felt like that Ant video, just because it was so cool. It's Anthony Edwards hitting a half-court shot, dancing to a song that I'm playing, which is by his brother who was there. And I didn't know he was even right there. His brother Be Different.
Yep.
I mean, he's at almost every game, so I could assume, but I didn't know he was like sitting right there. So in the clip, you can see when he stands up and starts dancing too, and Ant's looking straight at B, and B's
That
looking
was
straight
good.
at Ant, and then B turns around and like points at me, and I'm pointing, and it's just like,
It was a perfect clip.
it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
It's,
All the stars aligned.
they really did.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my wife Gina about it, and she was like, how cool is that for like, you know, their family, specifically their mom, who's no longer with us, you know, wherever she is, whatever she's doing, looking down, just like, look at what my sons are doing.
It's amazing.
Making great music, a future, you know, I mean, a GOAT, like he's one of the best players in the world right now.
Top
I
3.
really feel like B Different's career is going to take off just because he is so consistent and talented. And it's like, wow, I really raised some cool sons. Like, I thought that was very like powerful when Gina kind of put that perspective in it, because I'm looking at like, this is such a dope clip, you know, like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah, how cool is it? Like their mom, like how proud she is of her sons, you know?
It's a good point.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I was at the game recently and I just saw him, a kid went up to Be Different and he signed a shoe.
Oh, dude.
An AE1, yeah. So
Nice.
I'm sure they're really good guys. They seem like good guys.
Yeah, no,
Good
he's
kids.
got a great crew around him. And Ant is like very like family and like friends, like putting his friends on. I mean, his best friend, Nick, who's also named Nick, he dedicated and has one of his own AE1s. It's this blue colorway that matches their city
Saw
edition.
those.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Ant bought like thousands of pairs of these, and they set up a Adidas truck outside the game that night, and he's just giving away
Saw that.
Wow.
free shoes. But that's cool to see, like, you know, the fame and the stardom hasn't affected Ant in the way that it has previous players, where he kind of forgets his roots and stuff. No, his roots are like grounded. Like that's really his brand.
Yeah.
Is Atlanta and his family and friends, and putting them on. Like that's kind of, I don't know. I haven't really seen that before, like to that level with a star as big as him. You know, it's pretty sick.
Thinking about roots, is there a root that you would like to plant or that you have planted for Generation Now?
That's kind of crazy because back when we used to do our state fair shows, I would always make like a new t-shirt design each year, and then we'd throw out like 100, 200 t-shirts that we made. One of them was the state of Minnesota outline, and then I had this really cool like graffiti font that said "Rep Your Roots," and then right where Minneapolis is, it was the Minneapolis skyline, and then under that was like the roots of a tree. You know, it's just "Rep Your Roots," and I still have those shirts, dude. They're so sick. So, you know, we've gone back and forth for years about like expanding to other markets, other cities, and I'm not ruling that out really, but I really liked like compartmentalizing in my brain. Like we can talk about that, we can look into that, but like I really want to just keep these roots planted here in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, and build our team. I mean, I never thought we'd have 30 DJs on our team, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't even think there was 30 DJs that were the caliber to hire on our team back when I started the company. I mean, it was just it was a smaller batch of like talented DJs. And so now it's like, we've expanded that much, and there's just so much more business to be had here in this market. And we really focus on western suburbs too in Minneapolis. So all the way from Maple Grove to Plymouth, which is where our headquarters is. Minnetonka, Wayzata, Eden Prairie. Like, we're really focused on western suburbs and venues and event planners that are in those areas. Not to say anything against St. Paul or whatever, but it's just like the market is big enough to where you can kind of focus in like that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, to answer your question, I want to just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And building on what we're doing, like I said about our goals for 2025, like building more partnerships here in this market, and national brands too. I mean, we just did some stuff with Nike, which is great. And Casper just, I forget the name of the company, but it's like an outdoors type of not like REI, but it's like a Cabela's, and they have locations all over the country, and they just flew him to out of state for an event, and they're going to fly him to another one. So having more of those like national brands, just understand like, wow, these guys are super talented DJs, and they have just the professionalism in the like our front office, behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a great 1-2 punch that we have of like, we don't just have really, really talented DJs that can just kill it and keep dance floors packed and all that. That's important. But to a client, especially national brands and bigger corporations and organizations, they look at that as a part of it, but they want the stability, the reliability, the professionalism, quick responses on emails. You know what I'm saying? They see just as much value in that as they do the talent behind the DJ. So yeah.
So thinking about back to like the videographers that you hired, like the one-off videographers, just kind of curious, like, was there anything that stood out from Will and I versus those other videographers that you've worked with in the past?
Again, like I am happy with our past videographers. We put out some great stuff. I think the biggest difference though is just like and I'm not saying they weren't enthusiastic, it's just your level of enthusiasm is higher. And like with the enthusiasm and passion comes new ideas, and I love that, So it's like, I would say the big difference is like enthusiasm. And like, I don't have to worry about when you're at an event, like I don't have to worry about you kind of looking around like, what should I do? You've already got shot lists in mind. You're at the event, your mind is working independently from mine. So it's like I'm DJing, or maybe it's an event that I'm not doing, but it's like our DJ's doing their thing and you guys are doing your thing. And like, we just have a ton of confidence in sending you guys out into gigs and stuff like that. So I would say that would be number one, is like the passion level and enthusiasm, which then translates into better recap videos and stuff. But also you're just great dudes, like you're just great to be around.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're smart. You're obviously talented as videographers and editors, but like that's a huge part of this business. Is again, it isn't just your talent level behind the lens.
Yeah.
Just like it isn't just about our talent level behind the turntables. Like you have to be fun to be around.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what leads to our partnerships going in year after year after year, is because if you ask them, they'll be like, oh, we love those guys.
Yeah.
Now, would they say, oh, GenerationNOW, oh yeah, we love those guys. Would they say that just because we killed it on the dance floor? No. They'd say that because it's like, we show up, we're excited, we're fun, we're smiling. Hey, how's it going? I'm Nick, I'm DJing tonight, what's your name? Enthusiasm is there.
Right.
And it's like, we really love GenerationNOW, we really love those guys. So it's like, Rethink, we love those guys. But you don't really think that that's a priority or a top thing to when you're building your brand, when you're building your business, but it is. Like you have to be fun to be around.
Yep. Yeah. That's true. I think about that. I'm starting to think about that more often. Like as we're growing our business, I think maybe going into a shoot, I'm thinking, how can I be the best videographer that I can be? I'm almost like stressing on like, if I'm doing a Timberwolves shoot, it's like, okay, I got to make sure I get this shot, make sure I get that shot. But then it's also like, how do I be a good person too on top of that? Like, how do I be more personable?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a huge part of it.
That's good. Personality.
Yeah.
You can't be a dud. Like, it's entertainment. We're in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
So you need to be entertained. You don't have to be entertaining to everyone that you meet, but like just something as simple as like smiling more, has been a huge thing that we've tried to instill in our DJs. And I'm just as guilty of it, man. You guys have seen me perform at Target Center and stuff. You're focused, and I don't want to screw up. I want my mixes to be perfect. I want my scratches to be perfect, but also it's like, we're in the entertainment industry, like, this is fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you got to remind yourself that this is really fun.
Right. You got to be lucky that we get to do these jobs.
Totally.
I think, especially when you get to do your passion as your career.
Yeah.
It's something that I remind myself all the time, and that keeps me kind of grounded in this whole process.
Yeah,
So true,
for sure.
yeah. What are some common mistakes you see with other entertainment companies?
Just not hiring real DJs, number one.
Yeah.
Or let's say they're like a one-off type of DJ, and they're a great DJ, but they just don't have that professionalism dialed in, to where they're dropping balls left and right, and they're making the clients freak out. Like, I haven't heard from this guy, and I've sent 2-3 emails I haven't heard back, because he or she or they is like busy DJing and doing the creative side of things. So I would just say not having like both of those very important elements in tune: professionalism side of things, communication, reliability, all that, and then talent level of the DJ and like rocking the event. The other thing is, especially with wedding DJs, is like, we are introducing our clients to the DJ months in advance of their wedding. And we require all of our DJs to meet with that client a month before the wedding and go over our event planner document. They can meet via Zoom, or they can meet at HQ or office or whatever, however they need to do it. But like, it just puts the client's minds at ease of like, okay, this is a real person. They're personable, they're fun, they got it locked in, they got this whole document, they got all of our songs. Like, especially for wedding clients, like it is stressful to plan a wedding, and the DJ is such a huge part of the wedding. Like, I mean, there's tons of elements, right? Like, you have a ton of elements during that day, but really the DJ is responsible for the atmosphere and the vibe, and just for so many hours. Like, we may start with the ceremony, and we're controlling the microphones and the music and everything there. And then it's cocktail hour, and then it's dinner, and then it's, so like meeting the DJ, getting to know the DJ, having direct access to the DJ is, I think, when other DJ companies don't do that, I think is a huge mistake, but it's kind of like, we want them to keep doing that, because that is still a huge competitive advantage for Generation Now. We tell our clients, oh, no, we're going to connect you with our salespeople are so good, and they know our team in and out, that it's like, they'll talk to a wedding client over the phone for that first kind of consultation meeting. They'll probably know right away, like, oh, this would be perfect for this DJ, or this DJ, this client,
Yeah.
Let's see if they're available that date. Boom, they are. All right, here's the rate, here's the timing. You down? We lock them in. We introduce them to the client. A lot of DJ companies don't. They will not introduce the client to the DJ until like they show up for the wedding. That's the first time they ever meet or know each other. Isn't that crazy?
It's trash.
That's terrible. And so that was one thing, especially Tim Miller, our VP of Marketing and Events. That's one thing, because we took him on in our first year.
Wow.
And it's one thing that we knew, no. Because we basically looked at all these other wedding companies on their websites. We did some research. We filled out contact forms like, hey, I'm Nick, I'm getting married, what's the process like, And that's one thing that we saw was like so shocking. It was like, oh, wow, you don't meet the DJ ahead of time? Okay, well, guess what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
We're gonna change that,
Wait, you went to other DJ companies acting like you were gonna get married?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. We should start doing that to other media.
I was thinking about that for
That's
wedding.
smart.
Yeah.
No, but that's smart.
It's not illegal.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, that's smart.
Yeah. But also
So
their websites, and you can find a lot just by their social
Yeah.
media pages and their websites. And I think part of me is like a little bit of a contrarian. Like, I just always liked uniqueness in doing things different, not for the sake of being different, but just like, I look at something like, that's whack. Why is everyone doing it that way? I'm going to do it this way, you know?
Rethinking.
And so like with our website, every other wedding DJ company, it was white and pink. Every single one of them. That was the main two colors. I'm like, we're going to be black and green, baby.
Let's go.
You know, like the fonts were all just like these
Elegant.
frilly fonts. I'm like, no, we're going to have a sans serif font, Century Gothic. Shout out to Century Gothic. My favorite font. You know, just to make it look more sleek and just like modern, as opposed to, again, just every website was doing the same way. Another thing is they'd all have music planner documents on their websites, meaning the client would go in and click, I want this song, and they click this song, and it's like, there's way more songs than the songs that they put on that list.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to have that. No. They are hiring us to DJ. They are trusting us in like being DJs that can keep the dance floor packed. Now obviously we need to know what their first dance song is, and we want to know their must plays. Like we want to know what are the songs that we absolutely have to play at your event. You know, and a lot of times they'll have 10 to 20 of like, these are our must plays, you know. Sweet, we will play those. But then it's up to the DJ to read the crowd. That's the number one job of a DJ, is reading the crowd. And that's why we hire DJs that have no less than 3 years experience. Even our opener level DJs, no less than 3 years professional experience. No other DJ company is, you know, starting their entry level DJs having 3. A lot of these companies, the first time they ever DJ is for that company.
Wow.
You know, where they'll maybe shadow a couple, but then boom, they're thrown out to the wolves, and it's like, no. We want to have people that are already established, that already have like just the roots down. They know, you know, the basic skills of DJing. They've already done tons of weddings and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was kind of a long answer, but yeah, we basically just looked at all our competitors and like, okay, we're gonna do everything differently.
Find out their weaknesses.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen, how have you seen like DJ tech and stuff like that change over the years?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Hang on one second.
You're good.
Is it 1:30?
Yeah, what time is it?
1:36.
Okay. Yeah, we can wrap it up after that.
Yeah, the technology has, I mean, it's like everything else. Like it just changes so fast. When we first started, like, so that was 2010. And I don't even think DJ controllers were really a thing. So those are those all-in-one units, pretty much what you see all of our DJs using now. At the time, we only hired turntable DJs. Literally, like if you didn't DJ on turntables, I didn't hire them. And now it's like, that's so antiquated and it's so just not necessary. They're heavy as hell. They're big, they're bulky, you know, and the DJ controllers they have now, they have, like you guys have seen, the Pioneer Rev 7 has motorized platters. You know, it's smaller. It's not a 12-inch record like we were used to back in the day, but it's a motorized platter. You can scratch, you can do tons of stuff on there that, you know, you can do with regular turntables and then some. So it's like the technology has changed so much, and it's a good thing. I mean, because I also have a DJ curriculum that I teach entire schools, or I do private lessons or group lessons. And it's nice to have these controllers that are like $150 entry level. Whereas back in the day, to be a DJ, you either had to buy turntables and a mixer, you know, so you're talking over $1,000 for the whole setup. Or when CDJs kind of first came about, same thing. Like there was that barrier to entry for, you know, young kids and people that really want to get into DJing. Like you just straight up couldn't if you didn't have the funds. Now you can get controllers where you can scratch on them, mix on them, put effects on, you know, cue point buttons, like kind of do all the things we can do with our, you know, higher end elite controllers. And then the biggest thing technology wise is stems. So with Serato, the DJ software that we use, and other DJ softwares, you now have the ability with a push of a button to take any song that you're playing and just isolate the vocal. You can take the drums out, you can take the bass out, you can take the keyboards, the guitars out, you can take the vocal out. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like on the fly, you can just straight up like, all right, I'm mixing right now. I want to like take whatever song I'm playing and make it just the bass line and the vocal. Boom, 2 buttons.
Crazy.
So, and bringing it back to like mashups and stuff. Well, that's how you make a mashup, is where you take like an acapella, just the vocals of a song, and you put it over the instrumental of a totally different song.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like opened up the creativity for DJing more than any other update in years. Wow. This stems thing, it's like really been a game changer, to the point where most DJs today that I've talked to, they don't even use EQ to mix anymore, which is like you take the bass out or you take the treble out, you know?
Yeah.
They use stems almost exclusively.
Wow.
So while they're mixing a song out of the song that they're playing into a new song, they'll like maybe take the drums out first of that song, and now it just mix in you know, the bass line and the melody of another song, or you're taking out the melody of this track and then you remove the vocal. I mean, it's changed the game for sure. So I think it's exciting. I think it's great. And I'm all about just like, you know, improvements in terms of technology and stuff. Just makes us better DJs. I mean, for a while, a DJ would get hate if they use the sync button. Yeah. Do you remember this? This whole, yeah, if you're not paying attention to DJ content, like it was insane. People just like hating on DJs for using sync. All sync does is like, you know, because our software knows the beats per minute of the song that you're playing.
Yeah.
And instead of moving the pitch control, the tempo control slider to like get it to match the exact BPM, you press sync, and now the new song that you just loaded up instantly is the same BPM as the other. You still have to mix it, you still have to scratch it, you still have to use the cues and effects and stems the right way, but like it saves so much time. Like at Timberwolves, I can mix so much faster now because I can just I don't have to be like look at my computer and like changing the tempo slider.
Yeah.
I can just press a button and now it's the BPMs are the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
No, it's just funny, dude. It's just like any other industry, like the old heads always hating on the young and the new technology. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of that, you know, especially when like hip hop when hip hop went from like my era of hip hop, which is like 90s and early 2000s, and it like switched to like Atlanta trap style hip hop. Yeah. I was kind of a hater at first, and I didn't want to play it. I didn't play it. I mean, I remember 2 Chainz and Migos when they first came on. I'm like, I ain't playing that stuff, dude.
Oh, come on.
And now they're like, oh, geez. Yeah. Now it's like Migos are like Snoop almost. Like, and 2 Chainz is like a, you know, a Wiz Khalifa kind of like character. And I'm just like, I just remember those days of like not wanting to change with the times. And we're generation now. You know, we have to be current, you know, because our clients are of that age, and that's the kind of music they like. And it's like, you know, if the main goal is to rock the crowd and play the best music for the crowd that's in front of you, you have to keep an open mind with music, especially new music.
Well,
and adapting.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you. And where can people find you? What's the best place to find you at?
GenerationNowDJs.com is our main website. DJMadMardigan.com is my personal website. Yeah. I need to update that more, but you get there's cool videos, and there's obviously contact form on there, but GenerationNowDJs.com for sure is the main hub where you can learn all about our team and the events that we do. Our website is solid, and we're constantly updating it. And then on social media, for Generation Now is at GenNowDJs. Yeah. And then for me, it's at DJ Mad Mardigan. And we're constantly posting on there. So check us out.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And
thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate what you do.
Let's go.
All right.